Fall is the perfect time to transplant peonies, so let's get to it. Peonies are, in my opinion, the queen of the garden. Peonies can last over 50 years and they're relatively easy to grow. And in this video, I am going to share with you my process for digging and dividing and transplanting those peonies. And then stay tuned till the end of the video because I'm going to share with you the varieties that I've transplanted, and then I also purchased some new varieties to add into my garden. So I'm going to share that with you as well. So you may be asking yourself, why would I want to transplant a peony? Because peonies are such a long-lived perennial, you might find yourself in a situation where you need to move that peony or you need to divide that peony. The best time to transplant a peony is from late summer through fall. As you dig up your peonies, you want to be sure that you cut and discard all of the foliage. Peony foliage is susceptible to fungal disease and to viruses, so you want to make sure that you're not composting that foliage, that you are burning it or putting it in your trash. If you are digging up the entire plant, you will want to start digging about 8 to 10 inches from the center of the plant. This will ensure that you leave enough root length on the peony. You may need to circle the plant a couple of times in order to lift that root ball. The roots are very fragile and will break off easily. Once you have dug them up, you want to go ahead and wash the peony roots. That will make it easier for you to see the eyes and where to divide the peony. Another question you may have is, do I have to divide the peony if I dig it up? Well, if you are digging up the whole root ball, then yes, you do want to divide that whole peony. If you plant the whole root ball after shortening those storage root, it will take the plant a very long time to restore that balance between the root and the top of the plant. So when you divide a peony, I like to leave at least 3 to 5 eyes on each division. Sometimes you will find that the roots separate easily. Other times it takes some muscle, and mine took a lot of muscle. My peony root here has a lot of eyes, so I'm going to get a few divisions off of that. I do want to make sure that I leave at least 3 to 5 eyes on each division. I've got a pair of snips here to just help clean up around, and then just got a little hand saw here. Use that, use a knife, whatever you've got. So looking at it here, I can see sometimes they'll break off, but I'm not really seeing anything that's going to just come apart for me. So I think what I'll do is I'm going to make 3 divisions. Let's start in here. Actually, I want to start by cleaning up a little bit. Just make it a little easier to handle. It's recommended that you wait a day or two after dividing your peony to allow the ends to dry and to sort of callus over. So there's one. Like I said, you can just kind of clean it up a little. And that one has one, see if you can see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eyes on it. As a cut flower grower, I am planting my peonies in rows. Now, each of my rows is 72 foot long. Each row is 3 feet apart, and each plant within the row is 3 feet apart. You can get away with planting your peonies a little bit closer if you're growing them for cut flowers, but I live in a very humid climate, and I have found that my peonies need a lot of air circulation. You'll notice that I'm cutting X's into my weed barrier. As the plant grows, I can increase the size of that X. This will just help control the weeds. And I have learned that a sharp pair of scissors does work better than a utility knife for this task. When replanting the peony, place the eyes about 1 to 2 inches underneath the soil surface. And if you'd like, you can mix in an all-purpose fertilizer. If you're planting a lot of peonies, I do recommend that you label your peonies. If you don't want to label them, then at least make a peony map, which is what I am doing. So I promised you that I would tell you what varieties I'm transplanting and what varieties I purchased to plant. So of course we've got the good old standard Sarah Bernhardt. I had 18 roots here planted here at the house. I dug those up and divided them, and then I purchased an additional 40 plants. And so I think I ended up with 65 of the Sarah Bernhardts. I also had Kansas. I had purchased 40 Kansas, and I only had 8 of those, but divided them and ended up with 57 of those. So that is all of the peonies that I've had a chance to get dug up here. The other 3 varieties that I have here at the house are Trafford W. Bigger. Yeah, that's right. I've got my notes here. And I've got Paul M. Wild, and then I've got Viking Chief. And full disclosure, I don't think I'm going to get them dug this year. It's looking like it's going to be a project for next fall. Depends on the weather. With these shortened days, it's just really hard to get anything done. So it's okay. I'll just leave them in the ground. They'll bloom. I'll cut them, and then I'll just transplant them next year. So the varieties that I purchased Duchess de Nemours. I purchased Monsieur Jules Elie. I purchased Etch Salmon, and yeah, that's it. Those are the 3 that I purchased. So I've got 30 Jules Elie. I ended up with 25 of the Etched Salmon, and then 40 of the Duchess de Nemours. So at this point, I have 240 roots in the ground. I've got 90 here at the house that still need to go over. And of course, that will at least double or triple because I will divide those whenever I dig those up. But again, that might be next fall. So I hope you found this video helpful. If you have any questions, just put them in the comments and I'll answer any questions that you have. If you have any helpful tips, put those in the comments as well. If you haven't watched my peony prep video, be sure and go back and watch that. I'll link it at the end of this video. And until next time, we'll see you then. Bye.